Hello, my tarot maniacs, recording this on Halloween with a spooky vibe. So I didn't want to leave you hanging all weekend while we are at competitions with Angus. So you're going to get 2 installments of K-Fed's book. We'll do some royals in between. So for my royal fans, stick around. You're going to see that too. We are in chapter 17 with Kevin Federline. After the divorce, my life split into 2 distinct realities. One side, I was a father fighting to save my fighting to give my kids stability, navigating a custody battle and trying to make sure they had everything they needed. On the other side, I was young, newly single, and living a lifestyle that pulled me into a whirlwind of partying. Balancing those 2 worlds was challenging, to say the least. So no wonder he needed a nanny, right, guys? So welcome back. I know you guys waited a few days for me to restart the series. I really appreciate it. It's not getting as much traction as I thought it would, but who knows? This will be evergreen stuff. So we're marking today as Halloween, and I have a very Halloweeny look on today. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Please like, share, subscribe. Was Kevin really struggling with daddy versus daddy? Let's see. I'm going to bring up that card view for you guys. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go. So is Kevin really struggling with it? Ace of Wands. He was still really trying to get that career going. So I don't think that, this business of, hey, I'm trying to be the best dad that I could be. I think he was still trying to get the career going. Was it for the fame or for the money? That was a sloppy shuffle for you guys. Is he looking for the fame? All about fame. Was he looking for the fame? 4 of Cups. He thought he found it. He actually thought he found that fame vein, but unfortunately did not. It was right off the mark. He thought this was going to be his escape out from under Britney. So, all right. So he talks about his manager, Dan, my manager, was somebody who was constant in his life. He was handling his career. I think he was handling some other things. He was tracking some opportunities for him, but Kevin says he wasn't making his job easy. When he didn't have the kids, he was out. He was running around, and he says it was a full bacchanal bender of first-rate Hollywood order. Journey through the underbelly of LA, strippers blowing cocaína off in each other's bottoms, guys tag teaming chicks in my hot tub, and a bordello masquerading as a blank studio, masquerading as a dental office. Was he really ripping it up like this, or is he just trying to impress us? Did he want to be the 5th member of Motley Crue? Page of Wands. He was having a great time. 7 of Pentacles. A lot of regret. And 7 of Cups. There were a lot of people that were contributing to this new version 4.0 of Kevin Federline. There were a lot of people that were contributing to it. So a lot of people were partying with it. And where was the money coming from? Where's our girl? Temperance. Yeah, he was overspending, over partying, and not really being discreet about it. Where's the money coming from? Knight of Cups. He was spending it because he was mad at her. He was going to spend it all and lock his legacy down. That was the plan. He's spending Britney's money. Let's not kid ourselves. I don't think there's a whole lot of money anyplace else. So he has a crew of guys with him. Was he supporting all of them? There's a lot of partying going on. Guys, a lot of partying going on. Here we go. We're getting the same cards over and over again. Look at that already. This Three of Cups in reverse. This is his bacchanalian. I can't believe he used that word. I don't know if he knows what it means, but bacchanalian behavior here. That's what we've got right there. Temperance, not being careful, not dialing it back. Page of Wands is sticking in all kinds of places that doesn't necessarily have to be stuck. Maybe shouldn't be stuck. So that tag teaming in the hot tub is certainly going on. Gross, gross, gross. So at this point, was his focus more on being a dad or more on being like partying like a rock star? We're just going to do a little scale here. One card. This is definitely more on partying like a rock star. What about Britney? What was her focus right now? Britney did not want her world to end either, but it's not about being a pop princess. It's about being a mom and resetting those basics for life. So whereas she was kind of done, I think, with her partying mode, I think she was really trying to turn the ship back. The outings with her gal pals, she was just trying to heal her broken heart. That's all she was trying to do. She was actually, I think, trying to find another partner, somebody who would be nice to her, somebody who would be sweet to her, and somebody who would protect her. She was looking for her knight in shining armor. Even though this is a page, she was looking for a knight in shining armor. This business about being unprotected, I don't think she felt like she really had anybody on her side. So I think this is a little bit complicated for her. Poor thing, poor thing. So he says things got crazier and crazier, club appearances. He says he was pulling in stupid money. Stupid money. He said 100 grand to do a Vegas or Miami event. At one point, he gets $1 million to do a nationwide insurance commercial for the Super Bowl. I think he says it's $1 million that he gets. It's kind of playing on what a jerk he is. Was the money really coming in? Was he making money? That is a lie. So was there contracts that were big numbers? No. The only reason anybody wanted him was because he was Mr. Britney Spears. And I do think the money was coming from her. I think she was funding all of this. So he does say that in the commercial, he was decked out like this obnoxious over the top rapper. And, it's kind of a play on him just being a bozo. Commercial aired. It was a hit. People liked it. They thought it was funny. Did he think his acting career could take off at this point? One of my subscribers said, I think K-Fed would have been a really good actor. Did he think he would have an acting career at this point after doing the commercial? Did he think an acting career was in play? Yeah. But again, this is a craft that you have to hone. And I don't think he was really down for it. So Nationwide gave me 3 tickets to their suite. This is for the Super Bowl. I took Big Mike and my lawyer, Mark. I still owe my dad for that one. He always wanted to go to the Super Bowl, but Mark had been helping me through everything. Why didn't K-Fed bring his dad? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Ace of Wands, 4 of Cups, Six of Swords. I think he wanted to party. This Ace of Wands tells me that he wanted to party, and you really can't party the way you want to with your dad there. Just saying. So I think he wanted to party. This was poor judgment. And I do think that he did some exchange with his dad. I think he probably threw something at his dad. Let's say Nine of Cups. No, he didn't. He promised. He said, Dad, I'll take care of something else, but he didn't do it. He didn't make that happen. What a jerk. So K-Fed is now rubbing elbows with all kinds of people. Jay Anderson, a beat facilitator who worked with Fergie, the Black Eyed Peas. They were hanging out and they were going over to Snoop's party at Mansion. And he says Mansion was packed. Everybody's having a great time. Roman Jones was there. He's a friend of his. David Grutman, Gino Mo, Purple, Lyndon, Navin, Chris Jones. He had to give his guys a shout out. This is his crew. These are the guys who run Miami's nightlife. And he says they always took care of him. Roman took care of Mansion. That was really the club that he took care of. So he brings Eddie, Big Mike, and his lawyer, Mark Kaplan, out with them. And he asks Mark if he should be worried about blazing with Snoop if an opportunity came up. Why did he ask that? I don't think he did ask that. I think he asked more, can I do it? Not, should I not? I think he was more interested in planting that seed. So allegedly, Mark Kaplan says to him, Kevin, as your attorney, if you get the opportunity to smoke with Snoop Dogg and you don't, then you're a blankety blank idiot. Coolest lawyer on the planet. Okay. Okay. Sound like Craig's mom on Friday. Okay. Did his lawyer actually say that? Did Mark Kaplan actually say that? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he said, just take it easy. Take it easy, even though it's in the book and he probably had to run it by. So Snoop sees him. He gives Snoop a blunt. Calling K-Fed fatherhood. I don't know why. So they hang out, smokes with Snoop. Who wouldn't? They had a couple drinks. They're hanging out. Scott Storch is there. Everybody knows who Scott Storch is from back in the day. He was bigwig in the music industry. I think he continues to be. I don't know. I'm kind of out of the loop. So they go to Scott's mansion. I think Scott, where does Scott live? I don't know if he lives on that island. But they decide that they are going to go there. Let me see. After party. I just want to see. I can't remember if he's on that island that everyone else is, but yeah. So going to Scott's mansion. Pulls up. They go in. He goes into Scott's office and he says that there's a glacier-sized mountain of cocaine piled up on a gold tray, and everybody's sitting there. He says it's a scene of Scarface. True or not true? Eight of Swords. Three of Pentacles. The Fool. He shouldn't be talking about this. He's like, Prince Harry talking about the mushrooms in Courtney Cox's refrigerator. So now is Kevin getting more into, is he going to stop blazing and start dialing it up? He think he'd a Mac. So he thinks that this is going to make him look more successful. This is a stupid little trope that people get involved in when they're around that particular substance. They think that they're going to look like they're part of the upper echelon, but unfortunately, he just looks like a douche. He gets to go to the Kentucky Derby. Of all the elegant and upscale traditions, really ridiculous for him to be there. So he is at the Brown family gala. And he is sitting at the table with a bunch of football players, including the Peyton and Eli Manning. And so he's hanging out there. Did they even know who he was? Did Peyton and Eli Manning even know who K-Fed was? Did they care? Really didn't care, really didn't like him, and couldn't wait to get away from him. Eli, Peyton. Peyton had his number. Peyton knew that K-Fed was just kind of a ne'er-do-well, and Eli just didn't want to have anything to do with it and thought that he did Britney wrong. Yeah, so there we go. He says, years later, I saw a clip where Eli asked if he'd ever been starstruck, and his answer was meeting me. Was Eli being funny in that minute? Was he being funny in that minute? Like, oh yeah, I met K-Fed. he was joking. K-Fed, he was joking. Unfortunately. Then he talks about later that night, he partied with Kid Rock, DJ Vice. He didn't get an invitation to return the next day, but I was truly honored for the invitation. Why wasn't he invited to come back the next day? Chariot, move along. Oh, he was too much. That 8 of Wands is really like a Quandamas kind of energy, like somebody who's kind of talking themselves up a bit more than they really should. So I think he was doing that. I think he was blowing a lot of smoke up people's butts. I think he was saying he could get things done. He could do things. Was he trying to be like a producer? Oh, yeah. He was really trying to sell himself. Again, not to draw too many similarities to Prince Harry and his bozo wife, but it kind of, this feels the same way as when they were on the line for The Lion King, and Harry kind of pitched Meghan's work. It kind of feels like he was in there, like he was using this as a networking event rather than just kind of hanging out and partying. Sometimes people try hard, and I think Kevin Federline tried hard in this. So WWE had also reached out to me. They were doing a show at the Staples Center in LA, and they asked if I would come and do a bit with John Cena. At first he thought, why not? He was promoting an album. Clearly he likes WWE. Felt like a no-brainer. He was going to come out, play a villain, get his butt kicked, and he was going to play the heel. That's like a common theme, common plot line in professional wrestling. I have friends that are professional wrestlers. I actually worked with a very famous professional wrestler back in the day, Bubba Ray Dudley. He was part of the Dudley Brothers. Shout out to my friend Bubba Ray Dudley. I'm not going to drop his real name, but worked a long time ago at a bar called Bar Anticipation in Belmar, New Jersey with him. So we did a lot of wrestling events there when I was a waitress and a cigar girl and a shot girl. So the wrestling events were really, really fun because the guys just wanted grilled chicken and steamed vegetables. And I was just coming out with trays. So this business with the wrestling fans, he claims that they gave him a really good reception, that Vince McMahon saw something in the chemistry between me and Cena. And after the match, he pulled me and my manager aside. He said, we need to do more of this. At first, I didn't know if I could commit But when he laid out doing a full storyline, blah, 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 they start training. They bring him to the training facility, and it's a bit too much from there. So he is performing in WWE. He's having a great time. Is it as successful as they thought? Not really. They're giving it some time. It's not putting asses in the seats as much as they would like. But at one point, Shaq comes to the show and he meets Shaq and Shaq's kids. And he says, "Oh, are you coming to," I say the exact quote, "I asked the kids if they were ready to see me smash John Cena." And Shaq laughed and said, "Nah, we're here to see Cena kick your ass." Is that true? I love Shaka Claus. Shaq, I love you. Shaka Claus. Is that true? Shaq said it. Yep, he was having fun with it. It's all part of the show. So it was brutal. The crowd was loving it. He loved it. It gave him escape. He stepped into a role. It was surreal. While he was doing some of the greatest stuff in his life, he was dealing with the worst, hitting the highest highs while living the lowest lows. I'd be in court one day fighting to see my kids, and the next day I'd be shooting a Super Bowl commercial or stepping out of the ring with John Cena. So everything was falling apart. So we are going to leave it right. Well, actually, we're going to just see, is that true? Was he living his best life part-time? Is that official, or was it all just kind of rolling downhill? Six of Cups, he missed Britney. Was he hitting some serious lows? Yeah, there's a lot of money here. He missed Britney, guys. At this point, I'm going to say this. He missed Britney at this point because there was an unlimited supply of yes, an unlimited supply of money, an unlimited supply of whatever you want, baby. We'll go get whatever you want. So that, I think he did have to go through some channels to make sure that his days were padded well with Benjamins and Buds and Bindles and whatnot. So I think he did. That was a lot of alliteration there, kids. I think he was pining away for the days of Britney because it was a lot easier to get her to give. So let's leave K-Fed here for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to come back with the next chapter, and you guys can check that out. But thank you so much for being part of the series. And if you want, go back and watch from the beginning. If you want your own magical reading from me, there's a link down below. And don't forget, Otter Spirit, we still have the Halloween bracelets in. They have not sold out as far as the recording of this. So if you want to get some, go on over there. Links are down below. Discount codes are down below. I will see you in the future.